Hi, guys. So, Miles, this is what? Podcast number what?
This is podcast number 3 or 4, I believe.
Yeah.
3?
3.
Podcast number 3.
This is exciting.
So welcome, Shaun Landry.
Yay.
It was interesting just because we were talking a little bit outside beforehand that you predated me in Chicago.
Yeah, I did. Just by a snooch.
Right? But we never really crossed paths in Chicago, really.
We never did because you were over, as I lovingly call it. I joked with you and said you were over at Sharna's place and I was aloof. So my bad.
You were aloof?
I was aloof.
You didn't want to have anything to do with the...
I did not. No, I did not say that.
Oh,
I did not say that. I was just doing other things. By the time I met Hans, because I auditioned for Hans's theater
Your
company.
husband, Hans.
Hans Summers, who
Right.
is here taking pictures. I auditioned for him in '86, and that was over at Players Workshop in Chicago. Where at that point he was doing Josephine Forsberg's thing. And I auditioned for him. At that point it was me, Jim Copsian, who ended up doing a thing called Ectomorph for a hot moment. And
I remember that.
Yeah, that was those 3 guys, him, Bird,
Yeah.
and all those guys, yeah. Sha-sha. And it was Cops and me and Hans and this woman named Michelle Vanderwerth, and this is very mean to say, but we used to call her Teeth and Tits. It could be 102 minus 102 degrees, and they would be up. It would be 102 degrees, and they would be like, "Do you ice those things before you leave the house?"
Why teeth?
Because you had a mouthful of teeth.
We all have a mouthful of teeth.
No, she had like teeth, but like massive, like big teeth,
So huge teeth.
like beavers.
Because you said teeth and tits, and I was like, well, that's either flattering or really unflattering.
It was yes and no at the same time.
All right.
She was a very lovely lady. I don't know where she headed off to, but it was them, and I auditioned for them at Players Workshop, and it was Hans who said no to me. He said there was some other woman who he wanted in the company, and he was outvoted. So to get back at him, I married him.
So
that was predated. That was '86. So
that was your. What's your improv background? I know you have a huge theater background.
I have it. Yeah, I mean, I went to Columbia in Chicago in my degrees in theater.
Great school.
Yeah. It wasn't when I was going there. We used to call it the school where no one ever graduates. Everyone basically built up their credits to try to get to Northwestern. It was ridiculous. But it's a great campus now. It's a lovely school. I'm proud to officially say now that I went to Columbia College. And I went to Columbia, and the first time I saw improv was at Second City. And at that point, I believe Kazurinsky was on stage and George Wendt and all those guys. So this was early '80s.
Oh yeah.
And I looked at that stage and went, "This is what I want to do." So what I did was I started doing improvisation commedia dell'arte with Geese Theater Company. So instead of Second City, I started working in prisons.
All right.
Yeah. And actually, the people who I replaced David Rosowski. He was in Geese Company. I replaced Dave. I took his room over because we all lived communally on the north side of Chicago. We were hippies, man. We were hippies in the '80s.
Right.
And Ellen Stone King was still with the company at that point, who was part of Annoyance Theater. And that's how I started learning improvisation through Geese Company. So it was I was in Chicago learning Keith Johnstone.
Oh, Keith's company.
I was at
Geese,
more than one goose.
Oh, okay. I'm not familiar with Geese Company.
Yeah, Geese Company worked in prisons and penitentiaries across the country.
Okay.
Doing improvisation, commedia dell'arte.
Who ran that?
A guy named John Bergman.
All right.
John Bergman, he looks like something drawn off of Doonesbury's graph, like John Lennon drawn off of Doonesbury's graph. And he actually, and to be honest with you, him and Dave could be brothers. They could literally be brothers. Same proboscis, everything. Right. And so I learned from Bergman, and Bergman is one of the one of the most amazing theater people in the world, along with one of the best drama therapists in the world. So I learned, the first book I read on improv was not Chicago-based, really. It was Keith Johnstone. I read Impro first.
Right.
So I learned and I got it for the mask work because we were working in masks. We were doing improv in masks, so it was very theatrical. And I did 2 years in Geese, and my name drops aren't that great. Actually, they're interesting. I mean, I met Charles Manson.
Right. That's a pretty big name drop.
I met Ed Gein before they, just like, it's like these are the name drops that I had when I was 18. And when I left, I said, I want to work with people or audiences that are not murderers and rapists.
Right.
Just call me fucking crazy. I just want to work with people who are just drunk.
But at the same time, I mean, that would be a fascinating thing to be in front of, a fascinating group of people to be in front of, just because you have to play to their reactions.
You play completely to their reactions, and you're breaking fourth wall all the time.
Right.
Every time, because you have some guy, because it was the best way, it was very Bertolt Brecht. So we had we had information for inmates of, when they get out, what the fuck they need to do, all the rest, and we're doing this all improvisationally with all this information in it. So, guys would break wall, and it was like, I'd be playing some wife, and I'm improvising, I'm 18.
Right.
And I got my balls and my swearing pretty fast. I mean, I still swear and fart to this day like I'm still in Geese. Except now I can't help it because I'm old. So it's just like, it accidentally happens instead of on purpose.
I feel you on that.
Yeah, right? So there was that breaking the wall of some guy, some, crazy fucking asshole scream, you don't mean anything, you're nothing but a woman. I go, fuck you, you're in jail. How do you know about this? And I roll off all this goddamn information like you don't know shit because you're in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love you.
I'm getting yelled at by a woman.
I'm getting yelled at by a big black woman. I ran through one of the last, I used to come back after I left Geese and I met Hans. John would call me up and go, hey, can you come out and do a gig? I'm like, yeah, no problem. Why not? I'll play with the inmates. I'll play with the criminals. And there was this one kid who was talking some shit. He was on a riser. And it was their new company. I took off my mask. I took it off. I threw it off. And I bolted, ran towards this guy. These are murderers. These are killers, rapists.
Right.
They parted like the Red fucking Sea. And I ran up that riser to this little squat ass kid. The kid jumped off backwards off the fucking riser and started running to the bathroom. The guards are going fucking nuts because they're like, oh my God. It's like they didn't know who to tackle, me or them. So the brother goes running in the back, and I am standing up there like his mama. And I said, no, nigga, come back. Come, bring your ass back. Bring it back here. And he's like, I'm sorry, really sorry. And she's like, me. I'm like, how much does it cost to pay for diapers? How much does it cost to do this? How much does it cost for rent? Nigga, you don't know anything about my life or even your fucking life. You don't know what it's like on the outside. Hooray! Woohoo! It's like, guys. And then I went behind stage, and I'm like, I'm just going to because we had to do a workshop afterwards.
Right.
I'm just behind stage waiting for my fan base now to calm the fuck down because all these guys are like, they want to meet you. I'm like, of course they do. Because they just think I'm, some kind of, it's like, you scripted that. That's what they always say when you improvise.
When you really improvise, yeah.
It's like, did you plan that with this inmate you never met?
No one.
Oh yeah, I knew him when he was raping. Yeah.
What that really.
I knew him when he was a rapist. Yeah.
The way that I connect with that is the idea that we're all humans, and in that moment, the room, that kid and the whole room, we're having a very human reaction of there's a woman who's angry and running that way. Immediate human reaction, immediate human connection. The reason why I love theater, the reason why I love improv, because it's the immediacy of that goddamn fucking moment where everyone in that room is just like, they're
Everyone is in the now. Everyone's in that moment right the fuck now. That was also that's why I love the idea of improvisation to drama therapy, which is the idea is because it's so in the moment and it's so in the now.
What exactly is drama therapy?
Drama therapy is taking, for at least from a Geese Company standpoint, it was taking a guy who has done criminal activity of any kind, emotional especially, and taking them to an emotional state where they can connect to their emotions, reconnecting empathy with violence, getting them to that state. The older I got, and the more I started working with Geese, and even the older that John got, you start to realize, especially when it comes to violent criminals, violent like rape, there's no help there. That's probably something they need to take a pill for, or possibly remove that piece of the brain out, because not theater, not therapy is going to help that. But for people who are doing nonviolent crimes like drug abuse and all the rest, it connects them back to themselves, and makes them think in a different way. That's why you see, it's the idea of, I think it was Stallone who had all sorts of friggin' child development problems. I might be wrong. I don't want to diss Stallone.
You just did.
I did. Hey, Stallone. Nice.
And Rocky's 8 or 7 is coming out.
I know. I heard. We just got finished watching Eye of the Tiger, the 3.
That's 3.
Yeah, we just finished watching 3 before we got here. So, but yeah, he was having some issues and concerns too. But the thing was, it was theater that brought him back into a different place. That brought him back to empathy. A lot of actors, find that way to get there.
That's just the wonderful thing about. I think I see it in improv more so because so much of it is you on stage, just because it's you.
Mm-hmm. It's you with possibly a layer of something else if you're doing character work. Because I don't know. It all depends on what school you're coming from. If you're coming from the Meisner theory, then it's all you. If you're coming from the actor studio idea of it, it's like, and I have to wear the underwear to really be Al Capone.
It's funny. I'm not sure which school I am. Cause I don't think when I'm improvising, my main thing is it's not me. It's never me.
It should never be you.
I mean, it's just like from the moment I start, usually like if I'm going to do a set, when I walk on stage, it's already not me. It's like, that's me on stage. I tend to be a little older, a little grumpier.
Every once in a while, I'll do this.
But that's before I even started improvising. I'm just like, but I already want to be slightly away from me, right? Because that gives you the freedom.
Yeah, it gives you the freedom to go and play in a universe that's not yours. That's where your mind can actually go whoosh and just play anywhere. And I absolutely and honestly agree with that. That's the whole idea of truth too, because if you're playing other people's, you can play. People always say you want to play your truth. I guess whatever, what have you.
Well, that's the thing. I think there's an acting lesson that gets. I think some people. It doesn't like you wear your character like a thin veil.
Exactly.
Basically. And to me, it's like I get that if I'm playing more realistically. Right, I can see maybe the idea of like I find myself in the character and that empathy.
Yeah.
But for me, when I'm doing a lot of the time, like if I'm playing a valley girl, I'm not looking for what part of me is a valley girl. That's
going to be impossible to find because you're not a valley girl.
Right.
That's the same thing when I play a white guy. I will never be a white guy.
You're a white guy.
You can blow me and I hate you and everything you stand for, Miles Stroth.
No, I tend to think like when I'm playing characters, a lot of characters when I'm playing them, I wear them more like a wetsuit. If I was wearing something, I was gonna have to wear something.
I attach it like like it's those Mr. Potato Heads. It's like, and that's that character on my nose, and this is the one on my arm, and what can I do different with my tongue that's going to be interesting, but you're not thinking about that, it just happens.
Well, it's like the ones you're comfortable with. Like if you ask me to play something I'm uncomfortable with, I'm going to think more a little bit about the presentation, but once you're comfortable with what you're doing, then you don't think about that, and then you really, that character starts to speak, even though that's one of those weird performance things that sound almost like something I definitely think that I am not, which is one of those, it just happens. Because nothing just happens.
See, well, everything happens, but it's the idea of react, respond, because that's something I used to joke around when I started teaching classes, when I finally got the balls to do that. I used to joke with my students right off the top, which I know pissed off some. I'm like, I'm going to teach you about improv. React, respond, $300. It's just like, oh, and now we're going to be doing this for 6 weeks. $300.
That's actually, it came to me late in my study, was the idea of what I'm doing in teaching is I'm training someone else's reaction.
Exactly.
So I think what happens with a lot of good players, and I've said this before, is that we spend enough time up here that our reaction is trained so that we recognize situations, we recognize dynamics.
Right.
Because, and to me, it's like part of what I do as a teacher is I point out, here are all the dynamics, here are all the things, so that you can train your reaction.
There's also, I have a question for you, and now that we're people of a certain age, the Gen Xers that have been forgotten between the millennials and the boomers, I got a question for you. How do you feel about us being older and the knowledge that we've brought with us to the stage when we're improvising with other younger actors?
Well, one, I think I love the fact that we're older, just because the way I look at it is when I was starting, there were no, in my mind, like I didn't see them if there were, but there were no older.
Exactly.
There were no good improvisers in their 40s or 50s or 60s.
Right.
Right. When I was young, and now I look around and I'm like, the best improvisers are in their 40s,
50s, and 60s. Yeah.
It's like because people
the Rick Overtons
well,
in the world, man.
It's still a young.
It's always a young game. It's always a young.
No, I'm saying
game.
it's a young field, meaning that like when with long form players, like when I was studying, I think modern long form is like what, maybe 40 to 50 years old, something like that.
Pretty much.
That's pretty young, right? And so basically, people haven't really had a chance to get old yet.
I know.
And a lot of stuff wasn't figured out for a long time.
We didn't know what the fuck we were doing most of the time, did we?
I have a
most
question
of the time.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, back then
I didn't say all of the time.
I mean, well, back then, like again, the only lesson that was really solid back then was yes and.
Yeah.
That was pretty much yes and everything.
And then you grow out of that. You grow out of that because you turn around and you yes and next thing you know, you're yes anding things that don't mean anything.
But you learn that it's not yes and. It's just
it's
a starting block.
It's the starting block for beginners to go. Is agreement.
Just define the agreement and heighten the agreement.
Exactly.
I actually have a question for you, which would be, how do you view? I'm pretty sure I know how you would kind of answer. How do you view game? Right? I know game to me is it's a loaded word.
It's a very loaded word, and it all depends on what school you're coming from in improv for the word game.
What's your approach to say the game?
The game of the scene?
Yeah.
I'm just talking as a performer. If there is a game in the scene, if it's an emotional game, if it's a scenic game, especially if it's a scenic game, if it's a character game, you approach it the same way. You approach the game where it's the same idea of games with gifts. What's a gift? Do you want, it could be a shitty gift that you want to return.
Right.
It's like, fuck, this is the shittiest gift I could ever get in my lifetime, and now I have to go and open it and use it. Thanks a lot. It's the same with the game. This is a really shitty game. I wish we weren't playing this game. Can we play another game? But the thing is, where is that game going within the context of the entire scene? Where is that scene going? Where is that? And that's the thing. It's the inlet. The game is for me, and we could disagree or agree. I don't know. The game is the inlet of the entire scene. Do you know what I mean?
I think I do. I think I say it. I think I'm about to say a very similar, if not the same thing, just differently, because I've thought it differently. Which is, to me, like, I first learned game as being how well I was able to heighten the flawed behavior that was happening between me and someone else. Exactly,
the flawed relationship of that and the other saying. Exactly, right. That's how I learned it.
That's how I first learned game, and I think the focus is too often too much on that thing that's between us, and not. I think you would agree with this, that I found that that's the thing that tells me who I'm supposed to play, and in exploring the person I'm playing, that is the natural heightening of that thing that's between
And that's the
us.
thing, and that is not to negate the game that person has given you, because I don't know if you, and again, it all depends on, did that person give you that impetus to be that person? Then that's and in my world, that's the gift. That gift he just gave you, being an asshole.
Right.
An asshole, a passive-aggressive asshole. Now, I was like, oh, I'm a passive-aggressive asshole. What a rich fucking gift.
How's your sister?
How's your sister? I'm sorry I asked. No, really, how is she? You know what I mean? Passive-aggressive asshole, you know?
Cause to me, it becomes so simple then, because like, I think, cause I used to be what I would think is considered a huge game player, you know, premise, that thing going on between us, heightening it and all that. And then I realized that, that's actually just telling me who to play. And when I start playing the person who would do that, then one, it becomes more real, and it naturally heightens.
And that is a skilled improviser, to know to go and take it that place. And that also helps heighten that other person's character that you're playing with. Basically, the only thing that we have on stage, and they all boil in the weirdest way, it is the idea of agreement. I'm agreeing to, if I lay it on you, you are agreeing to do that. And if you lay something on me, I agree to do it. People used to call it pimping. You remember that shit?
Yeah, but there is pimping.
There's hardcore bap. I'm sorry, you're walking around and all of a sudden someone says
everything's pimping.
Everything's
you can't give anyone else like I'm sorry you're upset. Why'd you just lay that on me? Why'd you lay that upset thing on me?
Exactly, and because that's a great gift.
Right.
I didn't have you walking around and all of a sudden say, I don't know how you can do that without a spine. I did not do that. I did not pick this up and go, hey, sing this song for me in Baroque. I
saw Rich Tellerico do what to me always, I was like, here's the definition of a pimp.
Yeah.
Right? He started the scene by going, hey, you with the mouth full of marbles and they asked me a fart joke t-shirt on.
Oh, man.
And I was like, all right, so I have a mouth full of marbles, so I can't talk, and I've got a stupid t-shirt on. I'm like, now what the fuck do I do? I'm like, that's a pimp.
Yeah.
Right? Saying you're upset isn't. Actually, let's get to these questions.
Right,
I'll let you handle them, because I tend to make too much fun of the questions.
Yeah, okay. All right. Wait a second. I will too, so we have a lot.
All right, no, man. I tend to throw them, I'm not going to answer that. I'm not going to answer that.
Yeah, who are you, David Letterman with these fucking things? Okay, here we go. Miles and/or Shaun. When coaching, what's the best way to give a note?
I would.
By saying it?
By saying it, yeah.
That's the best way to give a note, and it all depends on the person. You know, it's for you. I don't know. I saw. Again, these are first for me. Hans and I took pictures of you giving notes to your class.
Oh, you mean the real ones before I post?
Before you post, he posted the wacky pictures, which will be up on Facebook soon. But no, we took real pictures of you giving notes, and you were honest. You were not touchy-feely like Martin DeMott used to be.
Right.
You were not out of your mind like Dell used to be. But he was out of his mind in the best way fucking possible, because he was just a great teacher. You have that nice, calm middle line, which is the same way I do it. I get a little angrier. I find myself, as I get older, I will get angrier. I will stop scenes and go, what the fuck are you doing? I start, and then I realize, holy fuck, I sound like Dell.
Right.
Like, holy shit, I sound like Dell. Pull back, you're gonna hurt a millennial's feelings. Pull back. But my notes are strong. And there's also, Frances Collier used to say this, along with, she used to say this, which was very important. I love it. She goes, you take your notes like, you take it, you use it, or you don't, I guess. If it resonates, use it. If it doesn't resonate, then think about how you can go and take that note and put it back here. And then when you see yourself doing it, then apply it. I don't know.
I would say that
just say the fucking note.
Well, I think that the key, like there's a lot of teachers might be hard just to be hard, or soft just to be soft. To me, I sort of think
The Machiavelli teaching, yeah.
if I actually, because when I'm saying something to a student, I'm saying it for them. It's not for me.
It
I
should
don't
never
get
be
anything.
about you.
Yeah, no, I'm saying so the fact is, if I give a shit about the person I'm talking to, I'm allowed to be honest to them, honest with them.
And when you don't give a shit, what happens?
I don't give them a no.
Oh, snap, ladies and gentlemen. If Miles doesn't give you a note, he doesn't give a fuck about you.
If I'm coaching you, and after the show, I'm like, hey, that was pretty good. See you next week. That means you need a new fucking coach. All right, let's get another question.
I'll go up to someone and go, have you ever thought about knitting? So there's that. Let's see. Did, like we have stopped improvising for the rest of our lives. So I'm going to do this in the now. Did.
All right.
Do you have any pre-show ritual?
It depends on the show. Generally, no. I mean, I have a beer and a smoke, or a few smokes, or whatever, something like that.
I actually, ever since I get, actually, honestly, 3 minutes before a show, I get nervous. I really do. No one would ever expect that because I'm who I am. But fuck yeah.
Shaun Landry.
I'm fucking Shaun Landry.
You don't get nervous.
Don't you know me? Don't you know me? No, but what I do before a show is I shadow box. I shadow box because I'm a big boxing freak, so I shadow box. Before I leave the house, I sing "If You Look Close, Give Me Mick" from Gilda Radner. If you look close, you can see my tits. Cause I want you to, but don't want you to know that I do. If you look close, you can't see my tits. I literally sing this in the shower, and I just pump myself up because I'm a big Gilda Radner fan. So I pump myself up with that. And We Be Negroes thing was we never zip zap zopped. Hans, I'm just gonna do it. You say it loud so we can do this. Our warm up, zip.
Okay, we're ready.
We're ready.
Right. Yeah, because I never liked warm-ups at all. They made me feel stupid. And actually, before a show, if I'm doing anything, I'm trying not to think about the show.
That's the last thing you want to do.
I think people are like, we got to warm up, we got to do this thing. Why? Are you cramming for the show?
Yeah, right.
Are you preparing the stuff you're going to do that hasn't started yet?
Yeah, when I started doing Essence with Markia and Deanna and all those guys, there were some of the ladies who really needed to connect and warm up. So I begrudgingly did that.
Right. Because you do what's good for
you
the
do
best
what's good for
group.
Because it's not about you. It's about all of us. So I'm just like, fine.
Right.
Zip.
I'll play some clappy.
I'll give you eye contact and clappy.
Right.
Here's a sound ball. Whoosh. Oh, look, I can do this. I can do airplane glasses. Oh, my God. Oh, I'm awesome. I feel so not warm.
Another question.
All right, here we go. If during a show something happens, God.
No, you started reading it.
I know. If during a show something happens that the audience does not underline, not like offended, confused, in parentheses, what is your go-to tactic to get things back on track? I know, right?
I don't have a...
I kick the person in the nuts. I don't even...
No. If the audience doesn't... Like, if you're doing a show and the audience... There is something to the fact, like, if you do like, I remember I've done shows where you can hear the audience, what they're reacting to. Ooh. Like if you start going blue and you can catch that line, we're like, oh, that's too far for you. Mm-hmm. Right? And the thing is, I don't think about it. You just naturally sort of adjust to, all right,
you figure it out.
I'll go this way. Because actually, I think of myself as playing with the audience. It's like it's me, but I'm definitely, it's a live thing. They're in the room. Their reaction counts. Mm-hmm. But I don't have oh, something screwed up.
Oh, I better go and do my
Fart and tickle.
I better do my puppet thing. That will always bring the audience back. Look, I'm doing my Muppet hen thing.
Look
That's
over
my
here.
tactic.
Look over here.
Look over here. It's over here. No, look, it's over here. I'm doing my Muppet impersonation. Love me again. Love me again. A tactic? It's just
At
like...
the same time, depending on the audience, if it's just part, because sometimes someone in the audience gets offended and you're like, oh, let's go that way more.
I will...
They don't like it.
Yeah, let's really make them never want to come back.
You thought that was bad? I'm sorry.
Watch this.
Classes and sex.
Watch this, yeah. It's like, what's your tactic? It's like, what? I sing Flashlight by Parliament to go make people happy? There is no tactic. It's just, if it goes blue fast, or it's weird, or it's offensive, it's out there. You can't go, wait, I'm taking that back. You can't stop the whole fucking show unless you're that kind of fourth wall breaking weirdo who will just go freeze. I'm terribly sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but we're about to go blue. What kind of fucked up bullshit is that? Okay, but I mean, it might be funny in some alternative world in Utah. I don't know.
All right, what do we got?
Who is your earliest comedy influence? When did you know you wanted to be a performer?
For me, I guess it was probably my family. You know, my mom, my dad, my older brothers.
Yeah.
They're funny people, big Irish Catholic family. Where it's a lot of just basically. And I was the youngest boy, so basically I was the target.
Yeah, I bet you were.
But that was the first. I don't really think. Stuff that I remember the first thing that made me want to take classes as an improviser was I saw Dave Pasquesi on the Second City main stage doing the show he was doing with Joel and Farley.
Yeah, I remember that.
What it was a moment where he was just playing a homeless person who was smoking a cigarette. But the way he was doing it, I was watching it going, that's exactly how they fucking do that. That's exactly what they fucking do.
Yeah.
And I was just so floored. It wasn't funny. I was just like, that's amazing.
That's right.
And I'm like, I want to try this shit. So yeah, I guess that's about it.
Yeah, for me, it goes back way there because I've always wanted to be an actor for all purposes. As a comedian, and it's different sections of influences. As an actor, first off, my family was not funny. They are still not funny. They will never be funny. They are the unfunniest black people on the face of the planet. My mother was humorless.
Wait a minute. Oh, I thought you just were telling me her shitty name.
No, her name was Beverly. Her name was Beverly.
My mother was humorless.
Yes, her name was.
I'm like, no wonder she wasn't funny, man.
Humorless Jeanette Landry. She was humorless.
Yes.
But she loved to take me to theater. The person who influenced me the most of going, I want to do what they're doing, was Cap Calloway and Bubble and Brown Sugar. That was possibly we saw it at the Schubert Theater, I believe, in Chicago in the 70s when I was like 10 or 11. And it was an all-black cast. And it was Cab fucking Calloway. And I'm
sorry, who's that?
I need to fucking kill you. I hate you and everything that you stand for. Google it, people. Google. But it was Cab that made me want to do that. Then, that was when I wanted to do theater. So that was like my whole goal. I took classes at Goodman as a teenager. And that's when we went to Second City, the first time I was ever on the north side of Chicago. And at that point, Kazarinsky was on stage, George Wendt was on stage, right. I believe. And I looked at that Juddy stage. I'll never forget the fucked up audition I did when I auditioned first time for Second City. I said this story. I said, they let me into Second City at friggin' 17 years old, and they served me booze. And they had just yanked away the 18 thing to 21, right. And I still was 17, but I'm drinking right. I'm like, woohoo, this is the best. They serve booze to people like, yay, they have no idea, this is awesome. But it was the show, it was the improv set. They were doing Lonesome on the Range. That song, I don't know if you remember that. It was I'm so lonesome on the range, I'm so horny on the range. Then it was George and them doing that, and it's the funniest fucking Second City scene I had ever seen. And it really sucked. It's just these lonesome, bored cowboys. And George's and Tim is so small. Tim Kazurinsky's so small. I'm just like, this is the funniest shit ever. And then they did the improv set.
Right.
And I turned to my entire class and went, I want to do that. That's what I want to do. And then at 18, I started working in prisons. So, but when I came back, that was what I wanted to do. I found Hans. So there's that. And that's the last one. Last question? What is it?
Yeah, no, we don't need that.
What is it? Don't do that to me.
Quick, read it. Yeah. So.
It's on my Facebook wall if anybody wants to know.
Any questions from the audience? Because we only time for a couple. Yeah.
I'm just curious what you each admire in each other as an improviser.
I think he's a whore.
Well, there you go.
You said that once to a fucking member of We Be Negroes. I think so. I don't know if it was Philippe or if it was Mars Timms over at I.O. When they were over at I.O. and they were like, hey, what about We Be Negroes? Shaun Landry, you jokingly said, Shaun Landry's a whore.
Oh.
It was awesome.
That's probably something I would say.
Yeah, it was totally something you said. And I was just like, that asshole, I love him to death. We should improvise one day. And here we are.
20 years later.
20 years later.
We're going to get that chance.
I think, for me, I think Miles is honest. Miles is just plain fucking honest. And he's genuine. That's the thing, just off stage. You're genuine. And this is something I was going to say earlier. We just did a show for the Hollywood Improv Festival. And it was me and Hans and you and Heather. And, first off, us having a tizzy in the back was hilarious. You violently, quietly, slow move of a chair. I'm so angry I can be taking a hanger, gingerly putting it on the floor. Bits. But it was listening to you in the back. And I lay on the floor now there's the room, especially at the Improv Festival I did in San Francisco. I lay on the floor and listen to other ensembles like radio. If you can keep me intrigued without me seeing you, you've done your fucking job. I laid on the floor of the back of the Hollywood Improv Festival and listened to you be very calm to Heather's ogre. I was, she's doing this voice. And you're just doing this. And I'm like, what's going on here? And I just couldn't stop laughing. I could not stop laughing. And I went, this is why I really respect this man, because he's genuine, he's funny, and he's not bad to look at. So there's that.
Yes, it's when I realized, when Shaun said we'd never played together, it was one of those moments where I'm like, surely we've played together.
Nope.
Because when you know someone to a certain degree, you just think, well, we must have been on stage.
We were at Oberlin together. We did that weird panel on fart jokes and baby jokes.
I remember that panel. Basically, unfortunately I think that might have been one of the first times we met. We went,
they put you in a shitty hotel, and I was on campus. Oh my god! I'm like, how did you get so boned?
But I remember that panel was like you, me, and it seemed like a lot of my students were actually on that panel, and I wasn't letting anyone get away with anything.
It's just ridiculous. And then it was Keith Privet who did that weird fucking scene. Remember that?
I don't remember.
Oh god, it's a nightmare. And it was like, it was like a cat fucking thing. And then Keith Privet said, well, this scene's really all about relationships. He's fucking a cat. How can this be about relation? Keith Privet, you're insane.
I wasn't finished saying what I admire about you.
I'm sorry. I talk too much?
Yes, Shaun Landry doesn't know when to shut up.
Okay.
And I admire that in a woman. No, it would be, I mean, very similarly. You know, Shaun is absolutely herself. She, you know, takes no shit. She gives as good as she gets. I look forward to, because I will get to know you more, because just talking to you outside tonight, there's so much I don't know about you and Hans.
Yeah.
And there's so much that I'd like to learn from that history. Because contrary to my personal belief that the history of improv began when I started taking classes.
It really did, because when I realized that you came in, I'm like, well, everything has changed now.
All right, one more. Yes, sir.
I was just gonna say that having been around for so many years, what as improv changes and trends change, what excites you like as you get more experience about improv? Like when you hear about a certain team coming up, does that excite you, or do you feel you have to prove something against these people or adapt your style, or you just show them how it's how the OG does it?
How we do it, dog? You know what I'm saying? What did I just say? For me, what gets me excited about improv, actually, not only this scene here, but Hans and I we were just in Europe. I love seeing things that are going on that other people need to see either online or bring them here or us go there. It was really exciting in Belgium, in Brussels, seeing people who are just learning Herald and then doing their own spin on it. And in Europe, it's especially Belgium, and it's very theatrical. Or going to England, and it still has that Python feel to it. It's just so wonderfully charming and really rude and wrong, but with a nice English accent. But it's it's kind of bringing, and plus also a lot of expats are in England too. So you got a lot of people from UCB who are over there too. So you have that kind of weird mix of things going on here. And keep in mind, me being older and from my background, I can go on for a little while about the term team versus ensemble. I'm cool with, and coach versus director. I'm cool with both. I lean towards one. Guess what it is?
Team coach.
I'm not good with sports, so I have a hard time being called a coach. I'm a theater person. I'm good with director. But there's some great stuff going on in this indie scene that is just genius. One of the ones that I love the most that just really it cracks me up, and it's kind of fun for me to watch, is Juzo and Chad doing Jetso.
Yeah.
Because it's so surreal, and it's so weird, and it's so physical, and it's still a fucking story, and they still connect with each other, and they grab onto a lot of penis, and it's really quite strange. And I played with these cats, and at the last minute, drunk at I.O., and they were like, "You want to do a show?" Our person dropped out, and I'm just like, this is not what I want to do. Okay. And but it was a fun show there, but it's exciting. There's great things going on. The stuff, the shows that are going on here, what BOC and Dr. God is doing.
Yeah.
What BOC and Dr. God are doing. With all the ups to the Lusty Horde. They're trying stuff that's new, or trying, to try to do narrative within that. You can't peg one thing, I don't think.
Yeah, what excites me, I suppose, is just the realization, and because it's not so much like what I see, like, oh, when this team plays or when that team plays. It's more that I will get blindsided. Something will surprise me.
Oh,
I
always.
will learn something. Something will anger me. Something will make me want to go farther.
Yeah.
Because if there wasn't that, I'd probably stop.
And that's, the great thing about us getting older compared to our generation before us who stopped doing it.
Right.
I think it was that kind of thing where when you get older, it's like you get to that point where you think you have seen everything and nothing is exciting or new anymore.
Right.
But it seems now, especially now, yeah, I see things where I just go, holy fucking shit. That's all you can say. It's like, or you do one of these. You do the Denzel thing.
Well, it's also just, it's fascinating as far as like, if you look at like the world, like politically, right? It's a fucking wreck.
It's a nightmare on wheels.
The world is that, and then you look at like, to me, like I always thought improv.
I thought Ronald Reagan was bad until now.
All right.
Okay.
But I always thought improv was basically, a healing thing. But there's also a politics of improv that is playing out.
It's always, some of us out there were talking about the politics of this, of that, within our own community.
Right.
And to be honest, I always joke around and say everything old is new again. But for some reason, because of, look at us, we have 2 fucking iPod Apple things plugged into a podcasty thing that will go out to the fucking universe soon. And I'm sitting here going, everything is so fucking immediate. Basically, when we were younger, our shit didn't get out until 15 years later.
Right.
It's like our dumb politics does not get out until 15 years later. Now, the dumbass bullshit gets out 2 months later, 1 week later, the same day during a drunken text. Oh my God, some improviser showed another person their dick.
Right.
Oh, fucking great. This is so immediate.
And now the world can see that person's dick.
Release the doves. And
release the dick.
We can release the dick. And it's that kind of, but the politics are different. But the improv also is immediate too. It's that immediate. So it makes it interesting.
What I'm just saying is like even the politics within the community, within the communities, right?
Our politics here in Los Angeles are so violently different than those that I would say are in Denver or those that are in Utah or Chicago, New York, anywhere, Seattle, anywhere.
Some crossover,
San Francisco.
some are unique to places.
Yeah. Ooh, excuse me.
But I'm saying
can't help that.
I look forward to continuing to watch that sort of merge.
It's the merge, and it's also the merge internationally too. Because again, when we went over to Belgium, I realized that Joe Bill is the king of Jill Bernard is the queen of Europe, and I find that fucking amazing and wonderful. Actually, really fucking wonderful. When I can walk into a little tiny weird, like kung fu place in the middle of Brussels, and go, "Do you know Jill Bernard?" And I'm just in here going. And in the heaviest accent in the world, do you know Jill Bernard? Get the fuck out of Dodge. This is amazing to me. And yes, I do know Jill. She's awesome, and I love her. And she's a bestie. I guess that's what you call the millennials now. I don't know. She's. You're
pretty well known around the world.
Because you know what? I always joke and say, I'm from Chicago. This is supposedly, quote unquote, the mecca of improvisation. I'm known more. I am truly, you know how people say improv is like jazz?
Yeah.
Yeah, that old thing. Yeah. Well, seriously, I'm officially a jazz musician because I'm more known every place else than at home.
All right.
I swear to fucking God. It's like we're big jazz collectors. And it's like you go over to Paris and you see more fucking jazz shit.
Is this a black thing?
No, it's not a black thing. It's a jazz thing.
Sounds like you're making a classic, because all the great jazz players never made it in the States, but they went over and killed in Europe.
They killed in Europe. Josephine Baker killed in fucking Europe. Fats
Right,
Waller killed in fucking Europe.
Right.
Kind of is, but it's still the same way. Joe Bill kills in Europe. I think Joe Bill wants to be black. Oh, I said that out loud. Oh, Joe. Oh, Joe. But that's the thing. The thing is, I guess I'm known only because I put myself out there. And that was also the other thing, too. You know, I said this a little bit on this bloggy blog that we ended up skipping the fucking question, but the idea of, you know, the dog and pony show. Doing improv, this is from just a business side. And I've taught this class, I've taught the business of this, the politics and the business of this. You know, us doing improv means nothing if we don't get the straights to see it. And I call the people who don't do improv the straights. You know, it's like Inherit the Wind. It's improv in the wind.
Right.
It's improv in the fucking wind. So if people don't know your shit, then how the fuck are you going to get what you want to love so much out there? And it's the shitty side of what we do, really.
But it's also part, I think it's part of the progression.
I agree with this.
Because basically, again, moving from Mecca out to here or to anywhere else, you realize, oh, we're starting over.
I started over a few times.
Yeah.
I'm starting over again in 2017 when I moved to Dublin.
But then you'll be the fucking queen of Dublin.
I wish you would stop that! Stop that! There's improv out there. There's a
Dublin's
great...
gonna have a black queen.
A black Irish queen.
Black Irish
a
queen.
Black Irish queen. I perform. No, there's some great fucking improv. Not the Eyes is out there. Hans and I performed Ireland. I love because you know we're Irish. It's like there's no H's. There are no H's in that country. We performed at the Marino Hair Theater. They're a theater.
Right.
I just love it. Theater. I just love the idea that I just cannot wait to move there. And it's real seasons.
I've still never been there.
Oh fuck! You will have a place to stay in 2017, Miles. You will have a place.
That's a life goal, you know, at
Literally,
some point.
2 years from now, you will have a place to fucking stay.
All right.
And a place to play. And a place to teach. I promise you that. If I'm gonna be the
I ain't
queen,
gonna be there long enough
if
to
I'm gonna be
teach.
the queen, then I need a jester there for a while.
I'm the fucking jester. I gotta come over and be the jester.
Okay, you'll be like the prince. Second. He's the king. I'm married to him. He has to be something. What are you, Hans? You're the German guy.
I'm lost.
You're lost. So you want to improvise?
Yes, let's do a set.
All right.